All right, there we go. And good evening, neighbors. Magandang gabi mga kapitbahay. We're supposed to be live. I hope we're live, and I want to welcome you to what is now, let's see, episode. Oh, sorry. I think we may have gotten. We apologize. We got the title wrong for our stream, but anyway, because I may have miscounted. This is actually episode 9, if I'm counting right. Yeah, okay, episode 9 of the Voice Actors at Home.ph podcast, or as the cool kids online on socials call it, it's the pod. So welcome to our pod. Maybe that'll catch on. Anyway, I just want to quickly let you know, in case this is the first time you're joining us here on the pod. I'm certainly hoping that catches on. The Voice Actors at Home.ph podcast. Voice Actors at Home.ph is the response, in case you never heard about it, to the rapidly accelerating home-based voiceover industry, and amidst what was the global pandemic, where we hope to impart acting techniques, business strategies, tech tips, and create a great community of voice actors who build thriving VO businesses from home. Our primary mission is to help 200 Filipinos earn full-time voice acting incomes by 2023 in the medium term. And in the long run, help 1,000 Filipinos earn full-time, you heard me right, full-time voice acting incomes by 2025. Okay. And before anything else, just want to make sure that I plug everything necessary here. Let me just dispense with a sort of for a few formalities here and there. Okay, let me open up our chat window as well. We want to remind you that aside from the podcast that we're doing live right now with you, here on here in Metro Manila, what suddenly became a rainy Wednesday night, and I apologize if for some reason, my microphone picks up the pitter patter of rain on my AC on my air conditioner right outside because it's exposed to that. So I apologize for that. Technical difficulties aside, we want to let you know as well, we've got a great event happening this Friday already, May 26th, 5 p.m. It's our first ever voice acting script read session, and you are all invited. Imbitado kayong lahat. You can join as a participant, wherein all you have to do is pick a script that is maybe 1 minute at most, which is roughly about 150 words of 150 spoken words or less, and 250 words maximum. So pick a script wherein you'll be given the opportunity during the session to read, pwede kang magbasa, at makakakuha ka ng feedback right away. And our esteemed community leader, our esteemed comm lead, Luis Cruz, will be the facilitator for that fantastic event. Again, this Friday, May 26, 5 p.m. So if you want to join in, because slots are limited, okay? First come, first serve, 6 slots only. And all you have to do is email your script, email that you want to participate, and then submit your script to voiceactors@home.ph@gmail.com. We'll remind you about that once again later on. And if you're not interested in reading, or you don't make the cutoff for the 6 who are going to be allowed to participate, then you can simply observe, and you can find the link in our Facebook group at facebook.com/voiceactors@home.ph. And we'll see you for that on Friday. Back to here and now, back to the podcast for tonight. I just want to say that I was thankful to have been invited to be the guest of sorts at the last one. Just want to say that was a whole lot of fun, and what a blast we've been having with our podcast over the course of these 8 episodes. We got to know about how do you even start becoming a voice actor with Coach Dave Soltura. And then in the second episode, it was all about the ins and outs, the intricacies of dubbing or ADR with Coach Ryan Bondok. And then we got to know a couple of the fantastic people who make us coaches at voiceactors.home.ph really look good. And I literally and figuratively mean that in every single sense of the word. Without them, we have so much trouble picking up after ourselves. We got to learn more and talk to a couple of our comm leads who are great voice actors themselves, Mr. Luis Cruz and Miss Joelle Villafranca on episodes 3 and 4. And then with Coach Irene Bondoc on the 5th episode, we got to learn about how she juggles mommy duties and family life with a full-time voice acting career. How fantastic is that? And of course, there is some nitty-gritty business involved with literally the business side of being a voice actor. And we got to learn about that on that episode with Coach Jula Akbayani. And then we learned a bit about how to read the fine print of contracts when you book a voiceover job or voice acting job, and those other legal matters with our comm lead, the esteemed attorney Iggy Sapalo. And then, what was that last episode? There was some guy Dave was talking to who claimed to be some seasoned veteran of voice acting. No, not all that important. Some guy. And tonight for episode 9, okay, we're going to go right into it already. I'm not going to delay it. I'm not going to waste your time because I know your time is precious that you're joining us here tonight live for our podcast tonight. Our esteemed guest happens to be a registered and full-time nurse. He's been one for almost 13 years, a frontliner for almost 13 years. He's also, aside from being a frontliner, an OFW for the last 7 years, and he is currently working over in Kuwait, and we'll get to learn a little more about that aspect of his life. Now, as far as being a voice actor is concerned, he's been doing it on the side for almost 3 years, and he's one of the pandemic babies, so to speak, when it comes to the voiceover business. And he's completed numerous projects already in the last 3 years, ranging from he's done radio promos, he's done commercial ads, explainer videos, AVPs, and e-learning. And I hope I'm going to do this right. Please welcome our guest, Mr. Erwin Natividad. Yay!
Hi, Coach Zan. Hello.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, kapitbahay.
Right.
Hello po. I
Yes,
love that
so
pandemic
si Erwin sa previous episode, naging natin yan naging co-host together at least once together with Luis during that episode naman with Coach Ryan, diba? So now we get to put him on the hot seat and ask him about his life as his life in general, and more in particular as a voice actor. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Let me see. Am I seeing the right set of comments? Okay. All right. So anyway, we've got. I just wanna acknowledge right away that for our able-bodied tech support, because otherwise this podcast, this live broadcast would probably fall apart and not be on the air right now without the fantastic Luis Cruz, who's working. Luis Cruz is working on the background, making sure that that I pull this off decently. So we're gonna get right into it. Okay, Erwin, welcome, and let's see. First of all, you're in Kuwait, and you mentioned to me, let's see, you're as far as time zones are concerned, you're 5 time zones back. We're 5 time zones ahead. So it's like, it's 3. Yes. So it's 8:42 now here. So it's 3:42 in the afternoon over there. What's the weather like over there? Because, we've been, as you probably heard from everyone, it's very extremely hot out here. But when I think of Kuwait, is it really like a desert everywhere? That's the quintessential,
not really.
notion. Yeah.
Not really, Coach. May parts na hindi naman desert.
Okay.
But right now it's 44 degrees Celsius, so mas mainit dito ngayon.
That's hot.
Really hot.
That is hot, and not in the Paris Hilton sense. That is not. That is just uncomfortable.
Yes.
That can be unbearably hot, and
But I got used to it. Siguro yung highest ko dito is 60 degrees Celsius siguro.
No way,
right now
60 degrees.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
You can cook with that temperature already. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Super. Pero believe it or not,
really
mas gusto ko yung temperature dito kaysa sa Philippines.
Really? Okay. Oh, why so? Why so? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I mean, when sa Philippines kasi pag sobrang init, naglalagkit ako.
Ah,
But
yeah, yeah,
here
yeah,
hindi,
yeah.
okay lang
Also,
eh.
the kind of heat over there is different
Yeah,
from the
so
kind of heat. Yeah, yeah. I know what you
right.
mean. Like, yeah, if I ever
Yes.
go in another, yeah, if I happen to go somewhere abroad and it happens to be, say, summer or a particularly warm day, it's always almost always it's not as humid. Dito, diba? Dito sa Pinas,
Yes.
aside from the heat, you have the humidity. Kaya malagkit eh. Hindi lang
Right.
it's not just
And the pollution.
heat eh. Yeah, and plus the pollution, so you get a
Mhm.
nice layer
Yes.
by the time you get home. And as people say,
Right.
Ito, you smell like the sun. Amoy araw ka na. Whatever the sun smells
Yes.
like. Okay, now seriously, back to you. Oh, so you're a nurse by profession. By the way,
Yes.
I salute you. Hats and everything off to you.
Thank you po.
Yes, because you're a frontliner, and you're one of those
Yes.
is those honorable um, frontliners of ours. Plus, you happen to be you were already working abroad, when the pandemic hit.
Yes.
Ah, oh my gosh,
Yes.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
so with all that going on, because this is actually still your day job. How did you end up becoming interested
Yes.
in voice acting enough to motivate you to pursue it as a career?
Mm. Yeah, actually, to be honest, it wasn't my dream to become a voice actor. I
Okay.
got this idea during the pandemic. So just like what you said, I'm a pandemic voice actor baby. So that times because of dahil nga pandemic, ang daming restrictions, we're not
Right.
allowed to go out. Tapos we're not also allowed to travel back in the Philippines. I think it lasted for 2 years. So that
Hmm.
time, grabe yung level of ng depression namin dito. Um,
But
and
you were
on
still
top of the
working at the time, I'm
depression,
assuming.
yes, yes, I was still working. So
Yes,
puro
since
work
you're a
lang kami
frontliner.
dito.
Yeah.
So yes, hospital, bahay,
Hmm.
then
Right.
yeah. So before nakakalabas pa kami pero because of the pandemic no, sobrang restrictions dito. Then on top of the depression, sobra rin yung share ko lang yung fear namin kasi nga daming casualties nito. So just like
Right.
what you
Right.
said,
Yeah.
frontliner kami, grabing high yung sobrang taas ng risk na kami rin
Hmm.
magkasakit. So that time, depression and fear. So sobrang down ako noon. Then sabi ko noon, I need to do something. I need to move forward and get my attention away from this negativities. So sabi ko, I kailangan ko ma-distract. So I need to be productive. Tapos at the same time, na-realize ko, um, yung wife ko, nasa Philippines kasi. So I'm living alone here in Kuwait. She's taking care of our kids 24/7. Tapos ako, after ng work ko, ayun, I have a time to relax kahit papaano. I mean, I know our situation here is bad that time, pero still nakapag-relax ako. Sabi ko, it's unfair sa wife ko. So I need to be
Hmm.
productive. I need to do more aside from, I mean, even though I'm providing, I should maximize the time na nawala ako sa family ko. So sabi ko, okay, um, I need to learn something new. So that time, so uso yung work from home, nauso rin yung mas lumabas yung mga freelance jobs. So sabi ko, okay, sige, check ko nga to. Ang daming mga interesting. Pero I have a day job. So, hindi ako pwede yung per
Right.
hour na work. So sabi ko, yung mga project based lang siguro. So yun, nag-check ako. Then, nag-check ako sa YouTube, lumabas yung voice over. Actually, I was looking for a parang vlog na walang parang pero boses lang. Tapos lumabas na yung how to become a voice actor, voice over. Tapos may napanood akong video na parang becoming a voice actor is very easy. Parang ano lang, magbabasa ka lang, ganun daw. Tapos
Ah, right.
record, then kikita ka na. That's one
Uh
of the
huh.
biggest scams sa buhay ko. Akala ko talaga totoo. So sabi
You're
ko,
gonna have to
okay,
share
sige,
the
kung
link to
kaya ko
this
naman.
to me afterwards. I want
Yeah,
to
gusto
see
kong hanapin
who
yun,
who
eh. Parang
yeah,
parang
yeah, who made this claim, huh?
parang ito lang, magbabasa lang kayo, record na, ayan na, may ano na kayo, blah, blah, dollars. Parang, oh, okay, sige, parang kaya ko siyang isabay sa work
Dollars
ko.
pa.
And then, ayun na, yeah, that's, ayun na, I consulted my wife, very supportive yung wife ko. Then sabi niya, "Oh, okey naman yung boses mo." Like,
That's great.
okay, sige." So, sige try ko. Then I started with YouTube. Sa YouTube lang muna ako. Then after nun tawag dito, nag-invest na ako sa mga sa isang paid workshop. Then after nun, nadala ako dun sa isang private group, VO group, yung group nila Ate Claire and nila Luis, yung Clingy Crew. So dun na-invite
Oh,
ako.
yes, yes.
Then yes, dun ko so siyempre medyo may idea na ako about sa mga niche, commercial. Pero first time kong ma-experience magbasa ng script in front of people, and then first time ko
Mm,
makakuha ng feedback,
feedback,
as in constructive
right.
criticism. And
Mhm.
yes, and then dun ko na-realize, oh shoot, ang hirap pala nito. there's too, there's so much going on sa voice acting. Voice acting talaga siya. Mali ako na magbabasa lang yung mga ganon. So
Mhm.
tapos na-overwhelm ako nun. Actually, medyo bumagsak yung confidence ko after nung session na yun. But then sabi ko, pero na-excite din ako. Parang sabi ko, ang gagaling ng mga tao dito. Sabi ko, parang gusto ko pang i-push yung sarili ko. Then after nun, naghanap na ako ng mga workshop. Then yun, I got to join the intermediate workshop sa Vocal Alliance. Then after nun, sabi ko,
Galing.
after nun, ayan, actually there, I met Direk Rudolph, si Sir Jeremy, and si Sir Robbie.
Mhm.
Pero after nun sabi ko, hindi pa rin okay yung performance ko, tapos nag-take pa ako ng ibang workshop. So, 'yan, maraming workshop hanggang sa ayun na, I got to meet Dave rin. Actually sa Vobo pa lang na-meet ko na sila Dave, pero after nun nag-focus na sila sa coaching session. So 'yun, nag-ano rin ako, nag-avail na rin ako ng coaching session. Then on top of the paid workshops rin, meron din akong sariling private ano, meron din akong VO Tribe. Hi, RVC. Ayun, so sila yung parang naging safe space ko rin, 'pag wala pa akong I mean dun I get to practice with them. Ayun hanggang sa right now I'd say na masaya ako yung kung saan ako ngayon. I really wanted to pursue this, and I want to go to the next level din. So ayan, hanggang sa yan na-meet ko kayo, Coach Zan, sila Coach Ju sila Coach
Mhm.
Ryan, Coach, so yun. So yun yung yung summary ng aking VO
Fantastic.
journey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
Mm.
also interesting to learn about those the basic steps that you took, and yeah, and you discovered right away na hin, na unlike
Yes.
what you first heard about it, na hindi ka magsasalita lang, eh kikita ka na
No!
and dollars will start coming into your bank
Dollars
account.
daw.
Dollars pa,
Yeah,
hindi lang ano eh.
Yeah. Hindi lang pesos,
Dollars pa talaga
dollars.
eh, hindi na
My
pesos
God.
lang eh, dollars na.
Mm.
So, yeah. So pero all this time that you've been pursuing voice acting, you've still just been over there in Kuwait.
Yes. So,
Okay.
puro remote recording yung
Yeah.
nangyayari.
So essentially,
So,
yeah, you've
thank
just
God may
yeah.
work from home.
You work from home. Yes, you work from a home studio setup, and we'll get into that a little more about that later on. But
Mm.
I mentioned to Dave when he and I talked about it that I wish that there were more voice coaching opportunities to take up being offered during my time, or that it was just a concept, or there was more of that concept. Because in my time, a long time ago, na basically ganun lang yung voice acting, na parang it was considered just racket. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, in our sa Filipino vernacular, racket yun eh. Talagang racket
Racket.
mo lang yan. Hindi mo parang hindi totoong trabaho.
Sideline lang.
Sideline lang talaga na parang nagkataon, if you land the right projects, maganda maganda yung kikitain mo, and you
Yes.
kind of earn something that might equate to dollars and everything. So, but in your case, having started off, discovering right away the challenges involved, and making the decision to 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 take up courses, classes in pursuit of becoming a better voice actor, how much value now, looking back, do you give to it, and what kind of advice would you give someone who's just starting out to make sure that they don't fall into that trap na madali lang yun, magsasalita ka lang?
Mm.
Yeah. So
Well,
what?
I mean, siguro yung dun sa mga I'm very happy na nag-invest ako dun sa mga coaching session and
Mhm.
mga paid workshop. I mean, ang daming kasing learnings, hindi naman kasi siya yung, one size fits all. So,
Exactly.
like for example dun sa intermediate workshop, after nun, actually, to be honest, na-overwhelmed pa rin ako dun sa mga natutunan ko that time. But it made me realize na okay, yung level ko pala ganito pa talaga siya kababa. Nag-gauge ko yung ano ko, yung current level ko. Then after
Mhm.
nun, sabi ko, okay, mag-focus ako sa acting. That's why nagpeta ako, nag-classical theater workshop din ako kay Sir Jeremy. So, after nun, hindi naman, I would say na yung result hindi naman agad-agad lalabas. So, you need to allow yourself para i-process mo yung mga natutunan mo, eh. Then, of course, give yourself time rin para i-apply mo yung natutunan mo. That's why, yun, very blessed ako na meron akong VO tribe na, yun, share ko or na-apply ko yung natutunan ko sa mga, sa workshops. Then, ayun din, I get feedback from them. Siguro, I would suggest lang na, after ng isang workshop, don't just jump sa ibang workshop agad, or 'pag for
Oh.
example, you heard something na, "Oh, ito may coaching session," or ano, siguro I would say na try to, go back rin yung previous workshop na inano mo, na tinake mo. 'Wag lang yung bayad lang ng bayad tapos hindi mo rin pala siya totally naintindihan or biglang na-overwhelm ka pala. Siguro give yourself time para ma-process mo yung mga natutunan mo. And yun nga, ma-apply mo yung natutunan mo. Kasi that time, yun yung mali ko. Parang after ng workshop, "Oh, meron na naman isa. Hindi pa nga ako ready, go na naman ako." So yeah, working here, siguro isa sa mga advantage ko, may means ako to take workshops, mga coaching session. Pero ayun din, na-overwhelmed din ako. Tapos hanggang sa hindi ko rin na-appreciate yung ibang mga turo.
Mm.
So yun lang,
Mhm.
ano lang,
Right, right.
siguro wag niyo lang i-overwhelm yung sarili niyo, yun yung ano ko.
Yeah,
Pero
yeah.
I'm glad na I took those workshops kasi at the same
Right.
time ay lumawak yung network ko and naging friend
Uh-huh.
ko, ayan, kayo yung mga
Yeah.
coaches, so yun.
Oh, yeah. At kahit papaano naman, even though you probably stumbled upon or enrolled in a class na or a course na parang hindi mo nga, like you said, either hindi mo ma-appreciate or hindi mo ma-apply yung mga techniques or learnings, at least naging aware ka that those
Yes.
that type of thinking or that type of coach is out there, and I
Mm.
guess probably a good way
Yes.
to, yeah, for newbies who are just starting out and trying to figure out what course to take is
Mm.
to, yeah, to talk about it with other voice actors, and it, not necessarily people who are new, but
Yes.
anyone who's been in the business and has had experience
Yes.
either with coaching or being coached or taking courses and
Mhm.
participating in such things like di ba, yung mga voiceover workouts. Now, if you can, yeah, tell
Yes.
us a bit about tell us about the first paying. So we're not going to talk about the actual the actual figure, the kind of money that was involved. The fact
Yeah,
that you're getting
may sasabihin ko na.
that your first one you got paid for, that, yun na yung ano eh, na parang you can, maaari mo na talaga sabihin, okay, now I'm professional because yeah,
Yes.
you've got your first credential as a you got your first paying gig. So tell us as much as you can about how that came about.
Okay. So, since newbie ako, yung pinaka-source talaga ng ano ko, ng audition or casting call ko talaga is Facebook. Kasi may mga maraming mga platforms, ay mga
Mm.
page like
Mga
iCap, mga
pages,
gano'n. So
yeah, yeah.
yes. So, yung mga freelancing na pages rin. So yun, merong isa dun nag-post, tapos nag-send lang so post, email. So nag-send ako ng sample ko, then ako yung napili. It's for parang digital ad siya for an app. So ano siya, 2 videos, 1 minute each. So ako that time wala pa akong idea sa rate. Oh my goodness, oh my. So
Okay,
yung before kasi na yung
ibang
ang alam
ibang
ko,
usapan pa 'yun. 'Di
yes!
ba?
Oh
'Di
my
ba?
God. So,
Yeah.
yun kaya nga sabi ko mahirap yung voice acting, hindi lang voice acting kasi you're managing your business rin eh. So,
Managing a business, yes.
at that time, yes, sabi ko, that time yung dating alam ko may nagsabi kasi sa'kin na parang 1K per minute daw gano'n yung rate nila. So, okey,
Okay.
di in-apply ko. So, tapos, English pa, English VO pa. Ako, I'm struggling with the English VO eh, mas comfortable ako sa Tagalog. Though mas
Mhm.
marami na akong English VOs ngayon, thank God. Tawag dito, on top of that, may sinking pa. So, hindi ko
Oh,
alam that time
okay.
na iba yung rate for the usage. So,
Mhm.
kung saan mo ipo-post yung ano, sino yung audience mo, kung gaano kahaba.
Mhm.
Then, iba rin yung bayad, may dagdag pang bayad 'pag may additional services like ikaw pa magsi-sync dun sa video. So, ang dami kong ginawa that time. Tapos tig 1K, so parang 2K. Pero siguro kung susundin ko yung rate guide, more, definitely more. Tapos yung setup ko pa
Mhm.
that time, um, I have a that time NT1A mic tapos naka H5 Zoom ako. So parang recorder, parang portable recorder ko yung Zoom. Tapos lalabas
Mhm.
ako, pupunta ako sa laptop ko, then dun ako mag-i-edit. So sabi ko, since hindi ko ano siya, parang recorder lang siya, one time lang ako, so isang basahan lagi ako. Sabi ko, "Oh no, 'pag long form narration hindi puwede sa'kin 'tong setup na 'to." So sabi ko, kailangan baguhin ko, hindi siya efficient. So ayun. So anyway, after nun nung nagawa ko na yung project, yung first time ko marinig yun, nagki-cringe talaga ako sa nagki-cringe ako dun sa ano, sabi ko, "Ang pangit nung ano ko, ang pangit ng delivery ko," sabi ko gano'n. Pero yung nakita ng wife ko yun, sobrang proud na proud sa'kin yung wife ko. Sabi niya, ang galing ko daw," mga gano'n. Sabi ko, "Talaga?" Parang ta's yung iba kong kamag-anak, parang pinagyayabang niya ako sa relatives niya. Siyempre nakakataba ng puso. Tapos sabi ko, I mean, ako as a nurse, I don't get much yung mga appreciation and ano, I mean, okey lang naman. We don't do that to be thankful, 'di ba, or magkaroon ka ng
Mhm. Yeah.
acknowledgement. Pero siguro yung mga moments na gano'n na may nakaka-appreciate sa ginagawa mo, parang okey, do'n ako na-addict sa yung feeling na yun. Sabi ko, okey, parang gusto ko pa ituloy 'to, and at the same time, hindi ako satisfied do'n sa first work ko. Sabi ko, kailangan ko i-redeem yung sarili ko. So, ayun, pero from that, experience, ang dami kong natutunan. So ayun, kaya, ah, very thankful ako sa Vocal Alliance, yung tinuro nila yung merong standard rate guide, tapos si Coach Jula nag-webinar, free webinar siya about sa rates, tapos
Mhm.
sila Joel and yung team niya nag-create pa ng rate calculator. So ngayon
Yeah.
mas madali. So
Yeah.
ngayon ang dami ko ng questions like, para saan 'to, anong usage nito, gaano kahaba,
Right.
mga gano'n na.
Oh,
So hindi na ako before 1K.
yeah.
So ayun lang,
Yeah. I think we can all,
yun yung
yeah.
for very memorable. Ayun, sorry.
Ika nga nila, sabi nila, you never forget your first. Then there's almost always a
Yes, definitely.
very interesting story behind
Yeah,
that one. And of course, yun nga, you at the very least you learn so much from it. And once, what,
so much.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I personally, I remember the first. I can't right now. I'd have to
Mhm.
dig deep for a while and ponder and just try to get my memory working. I can't remember the second. Literally, I cannot remember the second job I booked so long ago. I wish I did. Then I wish I wrote it down. I wasn't doing any of the business stuff na tipong you keep track kung ano yung date ng projects, ano yung recordings, kaninong agency or client yon, mga ganung bagay, which is part of taking care of the of your business as a voice actor. Now, with that out of the way, the first one, your first paying job, can you give us maybe a few examples of the at least the other type of work that you've experienced
Mhm.
doing so far professionally?
Yeah. I was really gunning for ano, commercials, like sa
Mm-hmm.
TV commercial, pero wala, di pa ako makakuha right now. Pero now may mga radio ad, digital ads. Pero yung pinaka nag-e-enjoy
Galing.
talaga ako, explainer video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Like, yes, like for example, sa mga government, for example, PhilHealth, mga gano'n, or
Mm-hmm.
ano ba, na hand washing, mag-explain. So, parang
Yeah.
nandun yung brand ko, nag-explain lang. Yeah, so tapos nakikita ko parang so far kasi sa lahat ng explainer video projects ko, wala akong masyadong revision and gusto nila yung style ko. Na ano, if ever man may mga changes man, very minimal lang. So, tapos, dun kasi parang hindi ako nag-a-acting, parang ako talaga mismo. So, yun yung gusto ko dun
Nice.
sa mga explainer
Yes.
video. It's
Yeah.
parang ako lang siya, wala akong ini-emboding mga character, ako lang yun mismo na nag-e-explain dun sa
Mm.
kausap ko. So, that's why pero of course, um commercial gustong-gusto ko rin 'yan kasi it's fun na may mga kasi sa commercial pa, okey puwede ka pala maging character din dun. Akala ko parang
Mhm.
announcer lang, puwede ka
Mm.
rin pala maging character dun.
Yeah.
Then, lately nakakakuha rin ako ng mga AVP, VO. So, before kasi I took, Dave sa, yung sa American accent workshop. So,
Mm.
I mean, still working on pero it really helped me sa na-improve pa yung ano ko, yung delivery ko. So, nowadays I'm getting AVPs rin. So, ayun na-enjoy ko siya. Pero as much as possible I'm trying to avoid ano po, yung mga long form narration kasi nakakapagod. So, 'yan. So, usually po yun yung mga gawa ko ngayon, mga digital ads, radio and, explainer, 'yan.
All right. So, would you say, having shared with us those different kinds of voiceover work, yung explainer na ba yung, would you call it your the one that you're most comfortable with or your favorite type? Siyempre,
Yes.
in acknowledging the
Yun
fact
yung
na
pinaka
commercials yung goal natin, and I have no
mm,
doubt that day will come. I
yes.
mean,
Amen.
you're still new in the business. You're still on your way up
Yes.
in the career in your career path, and you're taking what I believe is one of the best and the most efficient paths
Hmm.
in your journey. And I'm sure that is definitely going to come in the near future for you. Pero so far, what would you say is your favorite or most comfortable type of voiceover work?
Explainer talaga,
Explainer?
explainer VOs talaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, parang nagre-resonate sa'kin yung mga mas nagre-resonate siya sa'kin, eh. Tapos, I mean, less pressure siya. Though sometimes may mga explainer na mahaba, pero
Hmm.
it's okay. Parang may parang yung iba kasing commercial very short lang, sobrang ikli
Hmm.
ng lines, parang hindi ako makabuelo. Dito kasi parang I'm telling story. So ayun, tapos ang dami kong puwedeng gawin. So, ah, ayun, tsaka very parang usually conversational and friendly yung approach 'pag mga explainer. So, na informative. So, yun yung parang nakuha kong niche. So yun,
Awesome. Yeah. Pero di ba yun ang masarap
yeah.
na feeling na because I well, yeah, I think I'll be honest enough to say I try to get that feeling when especially when I'm recording myself, or even if I have an engineer, and if dun ako sa commercial studio, na parang I want to be able to
Yes.
leave the session na parang wow, ang sarap ng feeling ng nung job na yon, na being able to aside from being
Yes.
able to do it right, it just feels, there's a feeling, it just literally feels right. And I feel, and to me it makes me glad to hear your story of finding a
Yes.
genre or a type of voiceover work that somehow your
Mm.
voice feels comfortable with, that
Yes.
when you're practicing, when you're doing our craft of voice acting, na parang natural na lang. Yan ang isa yan sa mga
Yes.
ultimate goals natin na kailangan nating i-achieve, na parang natural lang, na you don't have to try too hard to be able to
Yes.
deliver the desired result. So I'm glad to hear that you've been able to find that already. Now, getting a little
Thank
slightly
you, coach.
technical na to. So speaking of getting comfortable and everything for a job, with a job, how do you approach preparing for a particular voiceover role or voiceover job? Since you work from home, so that
Mm.
means you communicate,
Yes.
most likely you're communicating online, so you get your
Mm.
directions, your instructions, and then you get to see the script and try to, of course,
Mm.
analyze and translate those directions into what you feel or what you believe it will sound best with your voice. So how do you approach preparing for that? Are there any particular techniques or
Well,
strategies that you use?
um, sa akin coach, for example, I'm struggling with the sa peg nila.
Hmm.
Usually I ask for their yung minsan may background music na ba? Can I ask for that? Para makuha ko yung emotion, yung ano or meron na bang, sample video para, puwede kong maging guide. Then, um, aside from that, 'pag nakuha ko na yung script, ako kasi hindi ako comfortable pa sa mga ibang mga ano, like authoritative mga gano'ng mga read or yung medyo serious. Hindi ako kasi very friendly nga do'n yung tunog ko. So, anyways, 'pag mga gano'n coach, I ask help na lang rin from my VO friends rin na sabi ko, "Puwede ba tayong mag-practice?" So, sabi ko, "Puwede bang ano, puwede niyo ba ako bigyan ng feedback? At least, mabigyan ako ng idea paano ko aatakihin yung read." Then eto siguro i-ano ko lang rin, i-shoutout rin kay Coach Ryan. Si Coach Ryan kasi medyo naging close ko. 'Pag humingi rin ako ng help sa kanya, nag-aano siya, sumasaklolo agad siya tawag dito, minsan nagbibigay pa siya ng sample niya, "Oh, eto, napaka-ano niya, parang, napaka-generous niya when it comes to ano, giving tips, eh." Tapos, pero for example, wala talaga akong mahingan ng tulong. For example, authoritative na siguro nag-iisip na lang ako kung sinong character na for me authoritative. For example, si Batman, authoritative siya sa ano ko, iniisip ko
Mm-hmm.
na si Batman. So, I try to embody that character na lang rin. So, pero yung ngayon 'pag yung mga niche lang coach, yung mga niche ko na like for example, mga friendly explainer video, medyo hindi na ako na wow, yabang. Pero hindi na ako masyado nakakapag-prepare. Parang minsan alam ko na yung ano, alam ko na
Natural
yung
na lang talaga
ABC ko,
sa'yo.
eh. So,
Yeah,
natural na siya sa'kin, eh. Yung mga like for example,
that's
authoritative,
good. That's
sabihin na
good.
seductive, mga gano'n. Hindi ko
Yes,
kaya yung
yes.
mga gano'n. So, I really have
Sexy
to
daw.
prepare.
Oh.
Or mga gano'n sexy. Sabi ko, goodness. So, ayun. So,
No, you should
I
practice with
really
your.
ask
You should
for
ask
ano po,
your. You
for
should ask
help rin.
feedback from your wife if you ever get an instruction saying, okay, 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 honey, ito seductive at sexy daw kailangan na voice eh. Sige,
Cringe.
subukan ko sa iyo ah.
Makapatayan ako ng phone nun, coach. Wala. I don't see myself sexy. Tsaka ako rin mismo, sir, ano coach, 'di ba when it comes to ano kasi, 'di ba when you're delivering your lines, ikaw mismo dapat naniniwala ka dun sa sinasabi mo before maniwala sa'yo yung
Yes.
listener. Eh,
Yeah.
minsan 'pag mga gano'n, ako mismo kinokontra ko yung sarili ko, 'di wala na. So, I really have to work on dun sa mga ano, sa mga weakness ko po like 'yan, yung mga ganyang mga read. So,
Mm-hmm.
ayun again, thank you again sa aking VO tribe na walang sawang nakikinig sa'kin 'pag humingi ako ng help. So, ayun sa mga coaches, thank you coach. Ayun, yun.
Hey, you're very welcome. Anytime we can help, we're only too happy to do so.
Thank you,
Now,
thank you.
speaking of which, as we know from from the title of the job itself, voice acting, it requires us to be able to mag-convey or magpakita tayo ng emotions na gamit lang yung boses natin.
Yes,
Unlike, say, a regular on-screen actor, they have their entire body along with their voice to as their instrument
yes.
para for their character to become helpful in moving the story along. And so, pero tayo, boses lang. So how do you go about approaching expressing those emotions and like you mentioned na kung ikaw mismo hindi ka naniniwala sa sinasabi mo, mas lalo na yung
Yes.
makakarinig ng voiceover mo na or
Yes.
yung recording mo na anong pinagsasabi nito,
Mm.
parang siya mismo hindi siya naniniwala, ba't ako naniniwala sa kanya? So how do you go about trying to
Totoo.
create that connection with the audience when you just have your voice to work with?
Siguro sa'kin coach, ito yung natutunan ko sa mga
Mm.
workshops, especially from Vocal Alliance. I mean yung intermediate workshop na, yun nga establish mo muna yung character mo, sino ka ba talaga dun sa script, Then of course yung kausap mo kasi 'di ba iba-iba naman yung way ng pakikipag-usap mo kung sino yung yung ano mo, kung yung close kung gaano kayo close nung kausap mo. Then eto yung pinaka naghe-help sa'kin is yung intent. I mean, ano ba yung goal mo dito? What are you trying to achieve? Ano yung intent mo? Bakit mo sinasabi yung lines mo? Ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve? So, knowing those things, meron na akong guide paano ko siya ide-deliver. Yung like 'di ba siyempre yung, tawag dito, yung script dapat alam mo yung
Mhm.
message niya mismo, eh, dapat ma-convey mo siya, eh. So,
Right,
dapat
right.
talaga maintindihan mo siya. So, kasi kung hindi mo siya maintindihan, you're just reading the script.
Mhm,
So,
mhm,
ayun lang. So, after nun, tapos yun din sir, 'pag na-create ko na yung character ko rin, tina-try ko talagang i-embody yung character na na-create ko sa mind ko. Then, then when I'm reading, ano na ako, hindi ay ano na ako, nagtutuloy-tuloy na ako. Hindi na ako nag-iisip in the middle na parang, "Ay, parang mali." No, i-ano ko na siya, nagko-commit na ako. Kung ano yung naisip ko, kung ano yung establish kong character, situation, and yung goal ko, nagko-commit na ako dun. Then siguro I ask for feedback na lang after. So ayun, kasi 'pag nag-hesitate ka kasi naririnig rin, eh, naririnig sa boses mo, eh. So ayun, um, then kung may mga mahihirap na character pa coach, ayun talaga hingi talaga akong tulong. Pero so far ganun yung ano ko, yung process ko when, ano parang when I'm, reading my scripts, how I create my character or ano yung mga
mhm.
delivery ko, ganun yung process ko.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love that
Hmm,
approach. Now, in line with that, let's talk about and going back to all the experiences, lahat ng mga the
hmm,
jobs that you booked so far, along with
mm.
combining that with all the things that you've learned along the way.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say is your either it could be either or could this one thing could be both of these? Ano yung pinaka paborito mo or most interesting project to date?
Interesting. I think yung, siguro yung latest project ko na
Mm,
ano, parang, um, I get to puwede ba mag-mention ng studio? Puwede naman siguro. So it's one of the biggest studio sa ano, sa Philippines. So it's my first
mhm,
time working with them and, tapos radio ad. Tapos ang ano lang, kasi I always send, audition sa kanila pero since ito nga yung setup ko malayo ako and I think hindi ko pa nare-reach yung level niyo. Hindi medyo imposter syndrome ako na hindi ako makukuha but then
oh,
binigyan
you're
ako
too
ng
hard on
chance
yourself.
ay yun nga imposter syndrome. So yung first project ko sa kanila, isang radio ad siya tapos nakuha
Mhm,
ko na-embody ko yung character ko and natuwa sila dun sa takes ko. So and I got this feedback from them na madali akong turuan, ay parang I can easily follow their directions and then ano pa, yun tsaka mabait daw ako. So so ayun, sa industry na 'to kasi minsan mas pinipili nila
nice.
yung mas madaling katrabaho kaysa yung ano, eh,
Syempre,
yung
yeah,
sobrang
especially
gal
especially if you're
so
especially that something that involves time sensitive project. Kailangan mabilis yung turnaround,
yes,
madaling kausap, yung
yes,
as you mentioned, madaling either maturuan or naiintindihan yung requirements. Otherwise
yeah,
kasi you're gonna burn through 20, 30, 40 takes tapos wala silang pinadala mo yung file, wala
yes,
silang magagamit doon. Eh di ba?
mm,
They're gonna do some more back and forth with you.
yeah,
And that will become part of your
totoo,
reputation already in the industry, or at least in particular for that studio. Yung caster is going to go, pwede ba si Erwin, palagay niyo parang bagay yung boses for the
yeah,
description dito sa PEG.
mm,
Sasabihin nung mga producer or yung mga engineer, hindi niya magets kaagad yung yung brief o yung peg natin eh.
yes,
Tapos ang dami niyang take, lagi ang daming
mm,
mali yung pinapadala niya or
mali
Dami or
Totoo.
maruming recording,
So,
mga ganong bagay, di ba? Yeah. So your reputation will
tsaka
definitely
coach,
precede you. Hmm.
yes, and sarap makipagtrabaho sa yung big studio kasi meron silang engineer, sound engineer. So
Mm.
nagre-record na lang talaga ako tapos sila na nag-e-edit. Tapos when I listen to the final out, parang ang galing, parang ako ba talaga 'yan? Parang
Di
hindi ako
ba?
makapaniwala na parang ako pala
Yun
yung
yun
parang
ang
ako yung
masarap, di
out.
ba?
So
Wow, wow. Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Tapos after nun, totoo coach, this afternoon pa, sumunod pa. Parang
Okay.
you just need someone na may
Yeah,
magtitiwala sa'yo kahit isa lang,
exactly.
eh,
Yeah,
to give
yeah.
you a chance, eh.
Parang ano
Tapos
eh,
after nun mag-ano, so
mm, may word of mouth
ayun coach. So
phenomenon
nadagdagan.
din sa business natin eh. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why it's important to
Yes.
have a good reputation with as many people as possible in the business.
Yes.
Excuse me, pardon me, Erwin, if I did not get that right. So, what type of project was that again that you mentioned?
Radio ad,
It was a
radio ad.
radio.
Character ako
Di
dun, eh.
ba?
Radio ad,
Ayun
yes. Masaya lang.
boses mo lang ang magdadala nun. Di ba? Kasi
Yes.
pag commercial siya pag ad siya sa TV, yung audio and the voiceover, sinusupport yung video.
Mm.
Kinocomplete
Yes.
niya yung image na
Yes.
pero pag radio, ikaw lang talaga yon. You have to be able to
Yes.
move this to tell the story properly with whatever the ad is about. Plus, you have to you have to properly suggest the image na magpa-pop up sa head ng listener pag nagkwento yung voiceover mo, di ba?
Yes.
So in line with that,
Definitely.
so as you've had I would consider that you already have the chance to work in professional studios and everything.
Yes.
That would already be it. You just happen to be doing it remotely. Now, on the opposite end of that previous question, can you talk about any particularly challenging role or job that you've encountered, and paano mo na overcome naman yun?
Coach, yung meron akong project wherein they want parang mala-trailer yung read ko. Parang AVP siya for a car.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Parang video presentation for a car. Pero ang peg nila is parang trailer na ayun na naman, authoritative, tapos manly.
Mm-hmm.
So, parang yung nila, gusto na yung boses ko kaso yung delivery ko medyo parang di manly. parang nakukulangan sila. Parang gusto pa nila
Okay.
mas forceful pa.
Yun yung feedback na nakuha mo.
Yun yung feedback nila, coach. Oh, yes. Tapos sinusunod, tapos nagbigay sila ng peg. Sinunod ko masyado yung peg nila. Naging naman, parang monotonous yung tunog ko and mabagal. Kasi ginaya ko yung peg nila. Tapos hanggang sa, tapos nagpa-record naman sila. Gusto naman nila gawin ko daw mas lively, So, ang labo nga lively pero basta may mga ganun silang mga direction na lively pero authoritative na so okay pero approachable. So may mga ganun silang mga direction. Coach, so hindi ako satisfied doon sa ginawa ko pero binayaran nila ako. Pero I got to listen dun sa event na parang pinanood ko yung event, hindi nila ginamit yung VO ko. So medyo ako nun, medyo na-sad ako nun na parang, okay. Parang feeling ko, parang dinaya ko sila. Parang gusto ko ibalik yung pera sa kanila na, uy, malaki tong binigay niyo sa'kin, hindi niyo naman ginamit yung VO ko. Pero at the same time, I was looking forward rin dun sa output kasi pinaghirapan ko kasi talaga siya. I mean, that's not my hindi ko comfort zone yung ganong mga read. Pero nag-improve naman siya. Pero I thought gagamitin siya. Tapos pag narinig ko, ay iba. Tapos sabi ko, teka, ang layo naman nung direction ng yung read. Parang ayoko namang Pero ayun lang. So medyo na-disappoint lang ako.
I can totally
Yun,
relate.
coach.
I've had that kind of thing happen recently to me, and quite a
Oh.
few jobs have gone that way. Na parang, I'll just briefly say there were like 3 or 4 sessions that they had me come back to dahil hindi nila gusto talaga yung delivery ko. Na parang na talagang they were making it clear na I wasn't getting it. And this was after, 20 years of experience already on my part. And to the point na kahit yung engineer, talagang gusto niya i-parrot ko na lang siya. Hindi, you make it ABC, ABC. And I'm going ABC, ABC. Na parang it sounds right in my head, pero hindi pa rin. And well, I didn't get I wasn't fortunate enough na ginamit nila yung recording ko, and they decided to get someone else, even though that's my exact sentiment na parang I was, by the fourth session, I was already thinking, you should hire someone else. And I will be more than happy to have that other person do the job, because so they can achieve, because it looks like I'm not the right fit. You thought I was, but obviously, it's not going to work out. That can be disappointing. And I've also been where you were when I was up until this day, after I do a recording, I'd like to hear the finished product, because that's also part of the feedback process for me. Na parang, okay, that's what it sounds like. Yun pala yung tunog, because it sounds different when you're hearing it in the headphones in your head, kahit man lang sa playback mo, when you're playing it back to yourself or editing it. Pag nailatag na together with music and effects or on video, iba rin yung dating sa'yo eh. So you can find out, okay. And and we can be we're usually our own harshest critics talaga na.
Yes.
And even though people will tell you, "Uy, ganda ng boses mo," it's like, you're always thinking you can do better. And I believe that's always a good attitude, that you always believe you can do better. And at the very least, even though that may have had a slightly unpleasant, that may have been an unpleasant experience na hindi ka ginamit as final, na ang consolation mo lang is at least binayaran yung bayad yung effort mo.
Yeah.
Isang comment talaga basta bayad, okay?
Naka-guilty kasi parang dinaya ko sila.
Tsaka
parang ganun yung feeling ko.
And forever magtataka ka, how could I have done that better? How could I have achieved sana kung ano yung nagawa nung ano nila, na yung napili nilang, yung nag-replace sa'yo, yung replacement voice actor para sa'yo. You're always wondering, how could I have done better? Because you always want to learn. That's the great part of all our collective experiences, both good and bad. Hey, we do definitely learn something from it. Now, going back to what I mentioned, the technical side, I mean, so you've gone through the experience of having to learn how to, first of all, learning how to record yourself, and learning how to record yourself with a computer and a microphone, and then of course the step of treating acoustic treatment for your space and make sure there's no noise coming in, and at the same time walang reverb, hindi ma-echo yung kumbaga yung room na ginagamit mo, things like that. Tell us about the technical challenges when you decided to really go for becoming a voice actor who has to work from home.
Technical challenges, I guess.
So or at least tell us your path. What did you start with in particular in your case?
Okay.
How did you go about it?
So para sa mga newbies, huwag kayo bibili agad ng mic. Kailangan i-consider. So,
or huwag kayo bibili kagad ng mamahaling mic, ha? Baka magsisihan kayo. Huwag kayo bibili ng mga tigta 20,000 or 30,000 na mikropono, ha? Dahil lang sinabi sa'yo, maganda yung boses mo dito, ha?
Yes. So, yung naging problem ko kasi ng coach, ang binili ko kasi condenser mic, yung NT1A, and sobrang sensitive nun. Like, yung heartbeat ko, naririnig ko talaga. Tapos ang ingay dito sa place ko, yung AC, yung reverb, yung ganun. So sabi ko, nag-base lang kasi ako dun sa mga reviews. So siya yung parang maganda yung reviews, tapos available siya dito sa Kuwait. So ayun. Oh, yes, NT1 tapos yung H5 Zoom si Booth
Hmm.
Junkie lagi niyang binebenta sa H.
Oo,
Although okey naman
oo.
sa'kin yung H5 Zoom, pero yung mic lang talaga. So, sobrang effort ako sa aking, recording space kaya ito meron akong, eto may moving blanket ako. Pero hindi siya ano, hindi siya super okey. Then after learning rin dun sa mga ayan, sa may mga sila Sir, Bolo, nag-share sila about sa microphone and ano. So,
Yes, yes,
dun ko
our good friend
na-realize I
Henry.
should have
Yes.
gotten a ano tapos Sir Henry, sabi ko I should have gotten a dynamic mic para ano, kasi maingay nga dito
Less
sa place
sensitive.
ko. So yes, pero dahil condenser mic yung gamit ko nun, natuto ako mag-edit ng ano, maglinis ng ng audio. So, yun naman yung good side. So, okey. So, na-e-edit ko yung ano ko. Kaso minsan may mga time na over-process ko siya.
Hmm.
So, it's
Habang
great
gumagamit ka ng
learning lang
mga
yung mga
denoiser, mga gano'n.
yes, yung mga gano'n. So, ayun. But yung ano, yung eto kasi ngayon ang gamit ko dynamic mic na mas ano na, less yung process na ginagawa ko. So, yung ngayon kasi ang advice kasi sa'kin yung source talaga yung i-ano ko, i-address ko yung source ng so eto so I use a dynamic mic tapos yung naghanap ako ng mas tahimik na puwesto.
Exactly.
Ayun. So ngayon less process na yung ginagawa ko and mas mabilis na ako mag-edit. So, yeah. So, mic, very important talaga na alamin niyo muna. Huwag kayong
Yeah.
bibili basta-basta. So,
Mm.
ayan. Pero ano,
Yeah.
ang plan ko pero maganda yung tunog ko sa condenser mic, eh. So, 'pag may professional na legit na booth na talaga ako, dun ko na siya gagamitin. Pero for now, since DIY halos lahat ng setup ko ano, dynamic mic muna ako.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so we've taken a look at how you got your start, and with
Yeah.
the learnings you had to go through, yung mga technical challenges. So,
Yes.
talk to us a bit now. Now that you're very much a professional voice actor, first of all, I'm curious, paano mo nababalance yung uh, this professional side of yours as a voice actor with
Mm.
the fact that you also, while all of this was going on, itong pinagkwentuhan natin for
Mm.
almost an hour or so, you
Yes.
still have your day job. And like, how many hours generally a
Yes.
day are you on duty? First of all, as a nurse, as a full-time
7
nurse.
7 to 7 to 9 hours yung shift ko.
Yeah, and that's not
Then
9 to
shifting kasi
5, huh?
ako
Hindi,
yeah.
hindi yung
Yeah.
regular hours,
Hindi.
huh? Di ba?
Yeah, tapos every 2 days nagbabago yung shift ko. So, shifting ako. So, morning shift, afternoon
Mm,
shift, night shift. So,
yeah.
kaya sabi ko nun I needed the job na project-based. So, kaya okey sa'kin 'tong voice over kasi yung turnaround usually, nagbibigay ako mga 2 to 3 days. Sasabihin ko ito yung turnaround time ko. Pumapayag naman sila but ayun lang, may mga times talaga hindi ko kayang like for example, kailangan na nila on that day.
Ngayon.
So
Minsan,
ayun,
di ba? May mga ngayon,
ngayon. So,
parang, sir, pwede ba tonight? Tonight. Tapos
yun
hapon
nga, ayaw
binigay sa iyo.
talaga. So,
Hapon binigay. Kasi gagamitin na namin,
yes.
sir, bukas.
Oo. Sabi ko,
Yeah,
grabe.
but
Sabi ko, ayun. So,
that's the nature of the job sometimes. Yeah, yung time sensitive eh.
yes. So,
Mm.
totoo coach. Pero tawag dito, pero most of the time naman na nakikinig naman sila sa request ko na puwede ba kahit early morning bukas. So, ayun. There was just this time na kailangan nila.
Uh-huh.
Nakakatawa lang kasi sabi nila, "Sige na mag-record ka na." So, kahit phone, sa cellphone yung first time ko mag-record na phone. Tapos sabi nila ano lang daw, pero dapat sana as much as possible tahimik. So,
Uh-huh.
gumawa ako MacGyver ako nun, kuha ako so nasa duty ako nun, kumuha ako ng empty box, ginawa ko siyang portable vocal box or booth ko. So yung box nilagyan ko ng mga kumot sa loob, andun yung phone ko, tapos nagtalukbong ako ng kumot, nag-record ako.
Wait, wait,
Pero
wait,
short
wait.
lines lang naman.
Wait, backtrack a bit. Nasaan ka ba at the time?
Hospital, nasa duty ako
Nasa
nun.
hospital
Biglang
ka.
nasa duty na ako
So
nun. Tapos sabi
hindi
kailangan
sila
daw.
hindi nila pwedeng hintayin
Hindi na
pag
puwedeng
ano mo
hintayin.
off duty hours mo.
Hindi, kailangan na raw nila.
Wow.
Oo, so sabi ko, "Hala," pero ano naman, na buti may mga nakita na ako yung mga gano'ng mga tutorial how to make yung mga
Hmm,
makeshift or yung mga DIY ano.
makeshift
So,
or
tapos
gamitin mo yung kotse mo, mga gano'ng bagay.
yeah, mga gano'n. Pero I couldn't go to my car that time. So dun lang ako sa empty, dun sa available room, walang patient. Tapos nandun yung ano, nandun ako sa cabinet, tapos may ano, may box, may ano. Tapos nag-record ako tapos, yun nakuha naman, tinanggap naman nila yung output. So ayun, pero
Galing.
ayoko nang gawin yun kasi hindi ako kasi
Yeah,
as much as possible, I want to give yung best recording ko, yung best audio ko
exactly,
sana.
exactly.
Pero ayun lang, nakakatawa lang na may gano'n akong experience.
Hmm,
Gano'n talaga,
that that
eh, may
that
may
does
day job
happen,
ako, eh.
yeah. Nangyayari talaga 'yun, yeah,
Yeah,
I've had that experience.
yeah,
So, "Rush, kailangan na namin ngayon, puwedeng, kahit
rush.
iPhone quality." Okey, and I've done that too. I mean, nasa busy street, I'm in the car, okey, tiyempuhin mo medyo
Mm,
tahimik, hit record on your phone, you're
mm,
talking into your phone, and you're trying to make sure hindi siya mag-spike, mag-peak.
mm.
Yun distort, tapos
Yeah.
pag i-upload mo na ang bagal or ayaw mag-attach ng file,
Mm.
mga ganong problema, but it comes with the territory talaga, the
Yeah.
yun, ang bago mo ng pangalan ngayon, si Erwin MacGyver na.
Oo nga,
Catchy
nakakatawa.
yun, that's
Hindi ko lang
catchy, yeah,
in-expect na
Erwin.
oo nga, eh.
Hey, that's catchy.
Si Erwin MacGyver. Ay,
So
cute.
Erwin, now, yeah. So tell us now that, yeah, as a bona fide voice actor, what are your long-term goals in the business?
Um, ano, gusto ko gusto ko sana ito na yung gagawin ko once I retired na as a nurse.
Mhm.
As much as possible, dream ko kasi talaga mag-retire ako sa nursing as early as possible kasi now 36 na ako and meron na ako nararamdaman like yung back pain, laging ano, tapos of course,
Wow,
ah,
yeah, I can
takot
imagine.
rin akong magkasakit and ano. So
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, so sabi ko, tawag dito, so sabi ko, gusto ko sana siguro I'll give myself another siguro 10 years pa bago ko totally bitawan yung day job ko kasi ano, eh, hindi pa kaya, eh. So, hindi pa kasi yung clientele ko hindi pa established talaga and, yung income ko hindi pa siya stable. Pero hopefully, by that time after 10 years siguro kaya ko na mag full-time, kaya ko na yung ginagawa niyo, coach. So, gusto ko talagang mag-ano, magtuloy-tuloy, mag full-time eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very sure you're going to get there. And in line with that, on that path, uh, how do you see yourself progressing and evolving siyempre, as you learn
Hmm,
along the way? Is there anything new in particular
um,
that or approach that you'd like to take?
siguro yung attitude ko towards ano, rejection, tapos how I
Yes.
receive feedback rin
Mhm.
and how I convert or translate rin yung mga direction sa akin kasi they've noticed na maganda yung ano ko, yung paano ko mag-take ng directions ngayon, mas mabilis yung turnaround time ko and, I think actually hindi pa ako sobrang aggressive sa pagma-market sa sarili ko pero na may traction na, eh. So, thank you Lord. So may mga lumalapit na rin. So I think it's a sign rin na nag-aano, na nagpo-progress na rin ako kahit papaano.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Now, yeah,
Mm.
with the last couple of questions, what do you love most about being a voice actor?
Um, Kasi half of my life nag-focus lang ako sa ano, eh, sa nursing talaga, eh, and
Uh-huh.
well, hindi naman kasi talaga yun yung gusto kong, gawin napuwersa lang ako ni mama. Um, pero mahal ko na siya ngayon. Siguro it's just, great lang na I get to tap yung creative side ko na hindi ko akalain na
Yes, yes.
meron pa pala na I can do, other things aside from ano na kasi yung may work ako, work lang, work ganyan, provide okey na ako. Pero ngayon alam mo yung nag-aano ka, nag-e-explore ka tapos may nadi-discover ka sa sarili mo. Siguro I found a newfound I have a newfound respect sa sarili ko and na-appreciate ko yung siguro self-love and parang na-appreciate ko yung sarili ko na, okey na I can do more pa kung gugustuhin ko lang talaga. So thank you voice voice acting. Tapos, ayun lang, ang sarap lang rin sa feeling na 'pag kunwari narinig ng mga katrabaho ko yung mga ano, "Uy, ikaw pala 'yan," parang gano'n. So, okey kasi
Wow.
ano lang
Yeah.
nakaka-boost lang rin ng confidence. So, ang dami.
Nice.
Very holistic yung ano, eh, yung confidence ko, how I yung how I perceive myself na rin. Dati kasi sobrang baba ng self-confidence ko, pero ngayon because of voice acting, because everyday kailangan kong mag-train, kailangan kong, mag-receive ng mga constructive criticism, mga gano'n. Na-develop ko rin yung mindset ko, eh. So, yeah. So, thank you voice acting.
All right. Yeah, that is fantastic. I love your attitude and the way you think about it, and the fact that you brought up the concept of self love. Speaking of which, so what do you do when you're not a voice actor and when you're not a on duty as a nurse? So what does Erwin do on his downtime? How do you like to
Um,
relax or
ano lang ako, eh,
unwind?
either nanonood lang ako ng relax ano lang, nanonood lang ako ng anime or I play basketball or I go to the gym. Pero right now, I'm also ano, studying yung sa production side,
Hmm.
ah, mag-produce ng stories. Naging stepping stone ko kasi yung voice acting and then eventually may mga na-meet rin ako mga producers and then I get to see yung work nila and medyo na-inspire ako. So ngayon, on top of voice acting, medyo nag-aaral na rin ako ng ano, ng about sa production
All
side
right,
niyan, podcasting and
fantastic.
kaya ito
Yeah.
active rin ako.
Galing. I love the fact that you're constantly curious, and that
Mm,
is a fantastic attitude to always
mm,
have, because you always got to keep learning. That's the way it is. And with that,
mm.
Erwin, thank you so much for sharing with us your precious
Thank
time. I
you.
know you told me before we started our the pod tonight, na ano kaya, this is na day off mo. No duty
Yes,
today.
day off.
Yeah,
Yeah, from night shift.
we took about an hour and a half, because we started chatting about a half hour before we started
Yes.
broadcasting. And so thank you so much for
Thank you rin,
sharing
coach.
your voiceover journey, your voiceover slice of life with us so far, and we wish you nothing but the best. And we know you're going to get there. You're going to achieve all those goals you've set for yourself. So thank you so much. And
Thank you
for a
rin
lack
po,
of a better
coach.
way to put it, talagang more power na lang to you, and
Thank
more
you
jobs.
po.
Yes,
And yes, yes, amen. Thank you,
yes.
coach. Thank you, coach.
And
Thank
with
you
that,
everyone po sa mga
yes, thank you sa ating mga neighbors, mga kapitbahay, for joining us tonight.
Thank you
And
po.
again, we want to quickly remind you about our online script reading event. It is happening this Friday already. If you want to participate, again, limited lang yung slots namin, only 6 slots. So, and we are taking in applications for the slots up until, if I'm reading this right, hanggang 6 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday, May 25. It's only for the first 6 people who email their scripts uh, of around, say, 150 words or less. Pero if you like to talk, if you like something longer, although si Erwin, nabanggit niya, he doesn't necessarily, not a, just like me, not a big fan of long form, pero you take it because it's the job. 250 words
Yes.
maximum. Please email them to voice your
Haba na.
scripts to voiceactors@home.ph@gmail.com. O di ba, Erwin, may imagine mo na kung gaano
Yes.
kahaba yung 250 words.
Grabe.
Ang dami mo nasasabihin doon
Ang dami.
na kailangan
Tapos 3
consistent from
different
begin.
takes.
Oh, different things, beginning to end, 3 different versions pa ang hihingin sa'yo. And so you can find more information, of course, on our Facebook page, voiceactors@home.ph. And if you want to observe, you're welcome. It will be streamed live. Again, that's happening on Friday
Yes.
already, May 26 at 5 p.m. So yun lang po. Kita-kits tayo on Friday for that. Our esteemed buddy, Luis Cruz, our comm lead, Luis Cruz, is going to be
Yes.
facilitating that for us. So
Good
it's going to
luck,
be a
Luis.
whole lot of fun. And once again, we want to remind you that the mission of Voice Actors at Home PH is to help 200 Filipinos in the medium term earn a full-time voice acting income by 2023. And our long-term goal, 1,000 Filipinos to earn a full-time voice acting income by 2025. And I just want to personally share with you the kind of values that Erwin and I and the rest of the and Luis and the rest of the fantastic team, the collective community of voice actors at home.ph share. Number one, think win-win. Number two, be authentic. Number three, practice the golden rule. Okay, you know what that is. Number four, remember, it's people over profit. Number five, do it fast and do it right because the client wants it right now. Number six, learn to focus. First things first. You got to stay focused. Number seven, everything, remember, is interconnected. So try to maybe, you can apply that to having a good reputation and everything. So be very professional. Number eight, just like Erwin here, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. And number nine, this is my favorite, work hard and go to bed, which is what we're going to do now. At least I am. Kasi hapon pa kung nasan si Erwin eh. So
Yeah.
good night, everyone. Thank you so much for spending
Thank you,
time. We went a little
everyone.
overtime, and we hope it's not too much for you.
Yeah,
But
thank
thank
you.
you. We appreciate you tuning in
Mm.
and to our stream here for the podcast. It's been a whole lot of fun, and I want to thank Luis for making sure we stay online
Yeah,
and
thank you,
on the air,
Luis.
so to speak. that we still managed to get through this broadcast, and not once did either I or Erwin drop out of it. So,
Yeah, oo
woo, so
nga.
we're only too thankful. Thank you so much, Luis, and to everyone at Voice Actors at Home PH. By the way, my name's I'm Coach Zanyu. Thank you so much. And if you want more information, go to our Facebook page or look up our website, voiceactorsathome.ph, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, coach.
That was a relief.
Thank you. Thank you.